Hello and welcome back. This is Candace from Candoodle, and today I have a very fun technique to do an edge-to-edge shaker card, but only for half of the card. So I hope you enjoy it, and let's get started. So I'm going to be starting off with the Picture Pals stamp set, which is super cute, and I'm going to take a couple of the critters and stamp them down. I have the llama, the giraffe, the lion, and the dog, and I have those set up in my Misty, and I'm going to stamp them down using some Copic Safe ink. I like to use Gina K Jet Black Amalgam ink. So I am going to be Copic coloring these images. You can see which colors I'm using on the left-hand side, and I tend to go lightest to darkest, darkest back out to lightest. If you've been around for a while, this is kind of how I do it every time, and I tried to keep my color palette sort of muted so that background shaker would really shine. So instead of boring you with more details about the coloring, I will do a bit of a story time. I actually haven't filmed or done a voiceover in a while. I had done a bunch of pre-filming because I'm going on a trip with my boyfriend, and I was planning to have those videos go up then. But at the beginning of July, after dodging it for 2 and some odd years, I unfortunately got COVID. I was out with my friends, not even something high risk. We were at a board games cafe and nobody was wearing masks. I was the only one who was because I had an upcoming trip with my boyfriend's family for the weekend, which I then unfortunately had to miss because I had COVID. And so I went home and I was isolating in my room, and my family was all downstairs, nowhere near me. And we thought we had made it out of the woods without them getting it. But on day 5, my dad got a sore throat. He tested positive the day after that. My mom tested positive 2 days after that, and my sister another 2 days after that. So unfortunately, I was patient zero and brought them all down. After 2 years of like being in the hospital, med school, all of that, it was a board games cafe that got me. So anyways, I am now getting back into the groove of filming and doing things. So that is why my videos have been a bit more sporadic lately. So thank you all for bearing with me and still being here because I really appreciate it. So once I was done with the coloring, I wanted to get started on assembling the shaker. I wanted it to have a glittery background, so I have this half sheet of glitter paper, which I'm going to adhere down to my A2 sized front panel. And this is the overall design. I'm going to have them peeking up over kind of a white piece of cardstock that looks like a ledge. And I have this transparent piece of acetate. This is actually cellophane from a bag. And I'm just going to adhere that down to the front with some super strong double-sided adhesive. And then I'm also going to adhere it on 3 sides of the back. So instead of this being a full edge-to-edge shaker card like it would usually come around the other side of the back, we basically put that double-sided adhesive on the front, and it's going to be covered by our little ledge where the sentiment is. So that way it's only going to cover half the card, and we're going to use less sequins. So I hope that makes sense. I am now just adding some double-sided adhesive to the back, and I closed off the 2 sides, but I left the top open. And I'm adding double-sided adhesive to the top, but not peeling off the protective layer yet because I'm going to fill up with sequins first and then be able to peel that back and close it really easily. So I'm coming in with 2 sequin mixes. I'm using the Sparkling Mint sequin mix, and then I'm going to come in with a little bit from the Diamond Diva set. As you can see, I poured them on my work surface instead of directly into the shaker pouch, and I did that because I wanted more of the kind of teal colors in there as opposed to those like holographic blues. And then from the Diamond Diva set, I came in with more of these silver and clear ones just to give a bit of variation and make sure I kind of match that glitter paper in the background. Before I close off the back, I like to kind of play around with the sequins to get them as flat as possible. And this just helps me to make sure that the plastic is taut when I'm closing it, and it just gives a more finished look, I find. Once that was all assembled, I am going to line up my images where I'd like them to go. And I didn't mention this, but off camera I die cut them and put some additional white highlights to give them a bit more interest. I'm now going to come in with some very sticky double-sided adhesive, and I am going to peel those all off with my little tweezers and stick that down to the cellophane. I tend to use this adhesive. I just find that double-sided tape that's very strong works best when gluing things down to plastic. So I got those all done off camera because it was very finicky, and then I'm going to come in and stamp my sentiment. I'm using the Happy Birthday from the Macaroon set. I thought this was really bold and nice, and I'm going to stamp that on my little white ledge that the animals are going to peek out from behind. So then once I am done that, I'm going to assemble the final card. So I have some very strong adhesive on the back of that so it'll lay flat on my card base. Then I'm going to come in with some fun foam, and I'm going to pop that behind where that ledge that says happy birthday is going to go. This is just going to give it a little bit of lift and give the shaker elements a bit more room, so that my sentiment isn't kind of tilted because there is a bit more dimension where the shaker is going, even though it is like a flat shaker. So I top that off with some more double-sided adhesive and put that down, and there's the final card. You'll have to let me know if you like it down below in the comments. As always, I appreciate the time that you spend here with me. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps my channel. You can always find me on Instagram at Candoodle Creations. And until then, I will see you in another video. Bye!